Hey, welcome to Lunch with the Doc.
Hello.
We have all these incredible people here that work here at Kiko. We're at Anastasia's on the corner of Forest and Ocean. And this is the best place for coffee in town, in my humble opinion. They've carried on the tradition of the JP coffee, and we're here for lunch today. Lunch with the Doc.
Lunch with the Doc. Here we are, another Wednesday. It's beautiful. It's fall. We're just loving life, you know. Life is good.
Here's what's nice. They do these specials. So like these are their specials for today. You have roasted vegetables with salmon. You have a shrimp salad. You have some sort of a grilled, what do you call that?
Panini?
Looks good, like a panini with soup. So I know what I'm going to get.
He knows what he's going to get.
Yeah.
So what is the topic of the day
Today we were just going to talk about supplements. Do people really need supplements, or can you get most of the nutrition you need from your food itself? So we're going to talk about some of those components, and if you do take supplements, what are some of the good supplements that everybody should be using? So we're ready to order.
I like it. Look at all these beautiful fresh fruits out here. Oranges, grapefruit. I'm going to get that fresh squeezed orange juice. Sounds good. Sounds.
They have, you can buy fresh grapefruit juice, fresh orange juice, always fresh and always fresh. It's beautiful. So I'll take the roasted vegetables with the fish. And what do you get?
I'll do fresh squeezed orange juice. Okay. And do you guys have like a side of fruit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you don't
Right?
a little fruit veg program.
Fruit program.
Yeah.
He already got mine. I got a chicken pesto.
Yeah.
Nice.
That'll do.
43.53, please.
All right.
All right, shall we pick our seat? Let's go out into the beautiful outside and grab a spot.
Let's go out here.
Let's go out here.
You can sit right here. Would you like that? Or right here?
Maybe right here.
Scoot this table back a little bit.
Yes. Perfect. I love it. Amazing. Here we are. Right here. We're right in downtown. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. Beautiful place to be. Oh. Wow. How lovely.
So tell us a little bit about your weekend, Mo.
My weekend. All right, well, we had a fun family weekend. And actually, a big part of the Health and Balance team was gone over the weekend for a wedding. So we had our whole family, all the Arthurs, as well as the Raddick family. Noah works with us, so he was up there too. Kelly and Max got married. It was a beautiful wedding. So we were all up in Yosemite for the weekend, hiking and jumping in the water. And we were staying on Bass Lake, and then we stayed in the valley floor. It was an amazing
You guys
time.
hiked up the Vernal Falls after the wedding.
Yep.
Yeah. And I
It was a
went for
morning
a
wedding.
hike across the valley floor and got into my favorite river there on the valley floor of Yosemite, and it was just awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
It was a good time.
Beautiful.
Gotta get out in the nature.
So let's get started. Why in the
Let's get
world
started.
would people, if you eat good food, why would you need to supplement? Great question. Good question. Good one. I looked up what was the average amount of topsoil in the United States 100 years ago. And I did this study about 10 years ago. But the national average of topsoil was 100 inches of topsoil.
Can you just give us a little,
What is topsoil? Thank you. Great question, Mo.
Thank
All right.
you. And if any of you out there that are watching have questions, type them in throughout the lunch and we'll answer.
Yep.
So he's going to answer mine. What is topsoil?
So topsoil is the part of the soil that receives
Orange
a
juice.
lot of the.
Yay! Orange juice, fresh squeezed.
Oh, we gotta try that.
Oh, thank you so much.
Let's see how
Amazing.
that is.
Perfect.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
He's one of the superstars here at Anastasia's. Yep, he's the guy.
Superstar. Ooh.
Let's
Fresh.
see. Let's see.
Selectable.
Is the freshness real?
Oh,
It's real.
oh, you gotta taste that.
It's real fresh. I'm sporting a lot of orange today. Orange juice, orange shirt, you know?
That's
It
the
is-
best orange juice in town. I hope I'm not stepping on anybody else's toes, but you know, I like to
Throwing a lot
use.
of best.
I know I'm
today
doing the
already.
best thing. I like. It is my favorite cup of coffee, the JP, and that's my favorite cup of fresh squeezed orange juice. Okay,
Humble opinion.
my favorite. Yeah. All right.
Back
So,
to topsoil.
Back to topsoil.
Back to topsoil.
I could talk to Dr. Peter Barella more about the strata and layers of soil and all the different names, but in general, topsoil is the soil that is really nutrient rich and has a lot of the plants that have died and are decomposing, creating mulch, and it's where most of the moisture is held. And so the topsoil has gone from 100 inches national average down to 1.5 inches.
Whoa.
That much, because of the fact
That's
that
crazy.
there have been so much use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides, and a lot of they're not letting the fields rest. Like in ancient Hebrew and biblical times, there was always a 7th year of rest where you would let everything grow up and then till it back into the soil to nourish and feed the soil again. So that leads us to composting. Now,
Yes.
composting, have we talked about composting?
We have.
We did, didn't we? We were down in there. Did we show a little shovel full of the worms?
Yep.
We suggest you take all your vegetable cuttings or fruit cuttings and put them into a composter and then take it down to your compost bin. Get some starter worms, just
pretty lovely.
night crawlers, and put it all in there. All your grass cuttings, your leaves, everything, put it in there, and then put that in your garden. So as you're growing your vegetables or your fruit trees, they're going to be filled with nutrients and minerals. So that's really what this comes down to, is that our foods just don't have as many minerals and vitamins and nutrient-rich substances as they used to. That's why people have been taking like Juice Plus and things like that for the fruit and vegetable components that we're not really getting anymore like we used to. Secondly, we live in a much more toxic world now than we used to, so there's much more need of good nutrition. Now, the sound over there that we're dealing with this afternoon is the shredding
What
of
sound?
the ceremonial pepper tree
So sad.
in front
Oh.
of the city hall.
Oh.
You can see it from here.
Yeah.
So the
Well,
pepper tree's coming down.
You know when you know a town so well and a place so well, and you're walking around, you're like, stop for a second, you're like, something's different here. I just know it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh. So that is going to happen to everyone as they walk by City Hall. Wait, something's missing. Pepper tree. Isn't that crazy? You have like a photographic memory of just
It looks
how things
as
are
though
supposed to be.
they may not take it all the way down. It looks like they've left the truck and they've maybe left about 12 feet of the trunk to maybe grow, but I could see where they cut it. What they were concerned about is that the inside of the tree had started to rot, and they were concerned about it as a safety problem of the whole thing going over and crushing City Hall.
That wouldn't be good.
So anyhow, back to
Toxic
why
world.
toxic world. We're exposed to a lot more. We need more nutrients to help balance that out. And to detoxify your body, the liver goes through 4 main stages of detoxification. And those are all nutrient driven. They only happen if you have enough of the good nutrition into your system to do all the methylation pathways and sulfation pathways. They're all nutrient driven processes. So the less toxicity in our body, the healthier we're going to be, the less inflammation we'll have, the less risk of cancer, the stronger our immune system will be. So nutrients these days are really needed and they're warranted. So let's talk about what kind of nutrients should you basically have in general.
Kind of nutrients.
All right, so let's talk first about minerals. Now, we did a little Tuesday health tip on this last week. I really like this product. It's called Plant Source Minerals, It has all the minerals basically known, all the major minerals, your calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, iron. We had a little list here of all the trace minerals, but let's just say this. There's 84 minerals found in the body.
Wow.
And this basically gives you a good sampling of a lot of the stuff that should be in our food from healthy soil. So you can really see it does, support vibrant health and mental clarity. These statements, let's see if this one the okay from the FDA.
Do you need glasses?
Oh yes, there they are.
You guys like that?
There they are.
It does not cure or prevent any disease.
Hold on, I
It's
just got a
basic
plug
nutrition.
for Thin Optics really quick. I bought these things for this guy for his birthday.
I
Anywhere you
forgot.
go, if you're always losing your glasses, check these things out. Oh, you need some shades? Shakoosh.
Bam. Bam.
Boom. Would you look at that? The most fashion-forward eyeglass around.
Yep.
And I can read anything right now.
Dang.
I thought this would
Very
never happen to me.
practical.
I used to eat a lot of carrot juice, drink a lot of carrot juice, eat carrots, and eat lots of vegetables. And still, at about 42, I was in a restaurant. Sorrento Grill used to be over there. I don't know if you remember that. But I was trying to look at a menu, and it was so dark, and it was parchment paper. And then all of a sudden, I'm like looking at it going, and Martha Jager looked at me and she goes, "Here, put these on." I go, "What?" She had these pointy women's glasses, like old school women's glasses. She goes, "Put these on." And whoa. She goes, "They're reading glasses and you need them." I went, "Oh crap, okay." That was 43.
Probably not enough minerals when you were young.
Probably the Twinkies and the donuts.
Too many. I was just gonna say too many donuts.
Yeah, too many donuts.
He always tells us about his donut
Yeah.
store days.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've really moved on from that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I haven't had a donut in a long time. So anyhow, back to the nutrients we need.
Yes.
Minerals. Calcium is needed for our bones, but some people get too much calcium and then that creates problems. It's actually associated with dementia, is getting too much calcium into the brain. And that's oftentimes happened. The cell wall gets depolarized from using cell phones and everything. That's why we suggest use your cell phones on speaker mode, and also get an EMF protection device that we have. Dr. Dominguez has a company that she likes. We carry them there. But the other thing is calcium helps a muscle to be able to make a contraction, but magnesium helps a muscle to relax. So they're opposite to each other. And most people are magnesium deficient. When we do blood tests, a lot of people are magnesium deficient. Magnesium, for example, is used to manufacture over 350 enzymes are dependent on magnesium to actually make the enzyme.
Whoa.
And enzymes
Crazy.
are things that actually make chemical reactions occur. So if you're mineral deficient, you're going to have a bunch of enzymes that aren't being made like they're supposed to be, meaning you're going to have a lot of chemical reactions that are supposed to be happening to
Resulting
keep
in
you
like
healthy.
less energy.
Less energy.
Because enzymes convert food into energy.
Well,
Right?
yeah, they help with digestion.
Yeah.
And the idea here is to make all your systems work the way they're supposed to work so that you're as healthy as you can be. So let's talk more about minerals. Let's just say doing green, the power greens like kale, chard, spinach. We put those in our smoothies every single day. A big handful of organic power greens, put those in the smoothie.
Shebang.
With hemp seeds, with cashews, raw cashews, with organic chia seeds, with organic frozen strawberries, organic pineapple, all the stuff that you can get at Trader Joe's. You can make a good smoothie. But before you put any protein powder or a protein powder combo detoxification powder like Clearvite or Ultra Clear or OptiCleanse or things like that, you want to make sure you blend all that stuff up for about a minute so it gets really thin, and then just put your protein powder or your whey or your detox product in at the very end and only blend it for about a second or two, because you don't want to denature the proteins that are in the smoothie. So don't stick it all in at once and whip it, because you're going to get really airy, foamy, you're going to be burping a lot. only put that stuff in at the very end and barely blend it so you don't denature the proteins. So there's another way to get a lot of your minerals, right?
Tip.
And then, of course, make sure you have 2 to 4 servings of vegetables on a daily basis. Cucumbers, I mean, you name it. Try to get all organic if you can. Now, Costco sells organic produce. Trader Joe's sells organic produce. Do the best you can to really stay organic as much as you can. All right, so we talked about minerals.
Beautiful
Now let's talk
minerals.
about vitamin D. Now, I didn't bring my vitamin D with me, but I did a Health Tip Tuesday on Instagram yesterday on Bio D emulsion. Most people are deficient in vitamin D. That should be another main product that you use. I like the product by Biotics called Bio D emulsion. You just put little drops on your hand and lick them off, and you can get your vitamin D levels up somewhere between 70 and 100 on a blood test. That's really important for your immune system function, for healthy brain function, for elasticity of your tendons, your ligaments, of your skin, your healthy bones. Yeah, they're just finding that vitamin D is involved with so much, and most people think because you live in a sunny area, you shouldn't need to take extra vitamin D. But like I mentioned yesterday, I even had my vitamin D levels were at 35. It was like, gosh, I need to start taking more vitamin D, because I would take it occasionally, but not regularly.
Can you talk about that really quick, like the skin cancer issue and people being afraid of being in the sun too much because of skin cancer, but at the same time they're missing out on very crucial vitamin D. So
yeah, I think we have to have the capacity to have antioxidants in abundance in our system, like the vitamin C, the vitamin P, which is the bioflavonoids, selenium, vitamin E. Those are all antioxidants that can help handle the free radicals that are produced from heavy sun exposure, and vitamin D helps as well.
Here he is, the man with the treasures.
All right.
Thank you.
Wow.
Sandwich right here.
Gorgeous.
Yes, look at my pesto sandwich. Wow.
Woohoo!
All right.
Anything else?
That'll
Thank
do
you.
it.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Oh yeah.
Oh, salmon.
So yummy.
How do you
Looking
feel
good.
about that?
I'm looking forward to eating.
I'm a fruity girl today. Thank you. Awesome. Looking good. Okay, so
All right. So
vitamin D,
Vitamin
being in
D.
the sun.
Now let's talk fish oils.
Wait, really quick. Finishing that question.
What?
Being in the sun, vitamin D.
Coconut oil is a good sunscreen, and if you use more vitamin D, what they're worried about a lot of times with the sunscreen are these microparticles that are so small they can get right into the cell membrane. So yes, it can help you from getting a sunburn. But also, if you look at some of the concerns, if you Google in concerns about sunscreen, I read an article in the LA Times a couple of years ago, just these microparticles and how concerning they are, and that there are some studies that show that there's an increased risk of skin cancer with sunscreen use. So zinc oxide is probably one of the ways to go. If you know Jeff Booth, you can always see he's got his tan colored zinc oxide all over his face when he's at the beach. And so anyhow, let's talk about fish oils.
All right.
Now, we talked a little while ago. This is the company. I really like this company. There's lots of good companies. The main thing is make sure that it says micro distilled, and it should be micro distilled means that it's not going to have heavy metals or toxins in it, like mercury, because the bigger fish can have toxic mercury in it as well, and even radiation. I mean, we're still having challenges with the quality of our fish based on what happened in Japan. And let's just face it, we live in a toxic world, and there's challenges. But the fish oils help with inflammation, with brain health, with circulation, with with avoiding, when I say brain health, that's avoiding Alzheimer's, dementia, those kind of things, the circulation. It also is really helpful with pain and inflammation. And remember, the good fats like this are like a taxi cab driver. They take the minerals that you put in here, and they're like a taxi. Since they're a fat molecule, they'll carry the minerals up to the cell membrane, and since your cell membranes have fat cells around it, the fat that carries the minerals in bumps up to it, it opens up. It's called lipophilic. They're fat loving, and it opens up and lets the nutrition into the cell membrane. So most people are too low on fish oils, and the omega-3s really need to come from fish oils. There's a test we did a study on that you can now test and see how inflamed your body is, because the higher the inflammation ratio is, the more prone you are to have degenerative brain disease, more inflammation, more arthritis, those kind of things. So you want to get your ratio to be smaller with what's called an inflammatory substance called arachidonic acid. You want that and the EPA3, the omega-3s, to be in a small ratio. The bigger the ratio, the more health problems you have, and the worse your brain works. They found that most of the people that committed horrible, heinous crimes had their ratios were up in the 40 to 80 range of inflammatory processes going on in their blood and in their brain.
Wow.
What the idea is, you want to get it down to 5 to 1 or lower. So I just had mine done just about a month and a half ago with a finger prick test that costs us only $75. You can get that done at our office, and then you just pay for the doctor's time to go over the results and talk to you about what to do. But you want to take a look at your ratio.
That sounds cool.
And see where it's at. So I want to get mine down under 5 to 1. So hence eating more good salmon and taking more fish oils. What do you think about all that, Mo?
I think that's great. I love it. I think it's very important to know, what do we need? What do our bodies need? How can we get what we need? And being really aware of where we're at, and eating really nutrient-rich food and supplementing it with whatever else we need. And I like the idea of composting and trying to get those nutrients from the soil, and having your own garden so that your food is rich with that stuff. That's really good. I think a lot of people are starting to realize how much we need to do that, and how awesome it is if you can have your own garden, grow your own food, you know where it's coming from, you know what's put on it. That's really good. But other than that, staying organic in other things, but I like it.
That gave me a chance to have a bite and chew. That was great.
Yeah.
Another thing, a good multivitamin, multi-mineral is a good thing to have. I don't recommend the one a day. Go to your health food store and just get a good multivitamin, multi-mineral. We have some at our office that we really like. Can you get good fish oils other places that are cheaper? You can. Just know that you're paying a lot for the quality and how pure the product is.
How
Quality
many
over
fish
quantity,
oils,
right?
Yeah.
How many fish oils do people take a day?
Well, it depends on where their ratio is.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Dan Murphy, who I study a lot from, he takes a tablespoon of pure cod liver oil and a tablespoon of coconut oil every morning to start the day, and that's just what he does. But his ratio is 3 to 1.
Wow.
It should be under 5 to 1.
Wow.
So he's got one of the best ratios. But it's all about good fats. Remember we talked about Dr. Mark Hyman, who wrote the book Eat Fat to Get Fit or something like that.
Eat Fat, Get Slim or something.
Eat Fat, Get Slim. Take a look at Dr. Mark Hyman's book, a very well-known, well-respected medical doctor, nutritional orientated doctor. And then the other thing I would say would be some sort of a probiotic. If you can get a strain of probiotics and take some in the morning, some at night, that's really beneficial. And I think in general we've kind of covered most of the bases of what would be good for you to use. Of course, you can get the blood test at our office called a NutriVal, where we can actually really zero in on what nutrition your body needs. A basic standard blood test. There's lots of ways to do nutritional assessment and make nutritional recommendations. But
I have two cool stories that have happened for me in my own journey of health in terms of supplements. And sometimes we need to take supplements for overall general health, and sometimes you can't totally feel the effects of them, but like my body needs this. But then there's those other stories where you start taking something and you totally feel the effects, and I love when that happens. I've had 2 times in my life where that's happened pretty drastically. One was when I was like a teenager. I started getting really bad migraines, and you would start seeing the lights, and I'd be like, oh no, here it comes, and then just terrible migraine. And I came in to see my mom, and she put me on wheat germ oil because she found that that's what my body needed. The second I started taking it, I have never had a migraine again in my entire life since I took it. And I don't take it anymore, but it's like that's what my body needed at the time, and I took it, and it just stopped that process of migraines. I've never had them since. That was a really cool story. Second story was just recently. I was just feeling really off. My body was like very sensitive, and I found that like my emotions were really up and down and volatile, and I just felt really like kind of fragile. My body just felt like everything would affect it, and I just didn't feel good. I felt really weak. And my mom found that my blood sugar was just off. And we have a lot of blood sugar supplements, but she found one that was really specific to my body, that my body just wanted and needed. I started taking it, and in the past 2 months since I started taking it, I just feel total turnaround, 180 shift of just like, I feel steady, like my emotions are normal again, my body's just feeling like better. So it's really cool when you realize that there's something that your body is longing for and you find it, and it makes the difference. So those are 2 encouraging stories about supplements. And I just think you, Dad, and Mom, and everyone in our office does such an amazing job of helping people to find what those things are that they need. And it's really, it's so worth it, right, to be able to find that thing that your body's longing for and to just get your health back. It's really, I was reading a quote today that said, if you don't take care of your body, where are you going to live? It's like we live in our bodies the rest of our life. So if we value living a healthy life and being strong and being vibrant and doing the things we love, we got to take care of it. Be good stewards.
I think that's wise. So I think we're about ready to sign off here. And one of the things I really like as a practitioner is using applied kinesiology and another technique called integrative assessment technique to really figure out what a body needs. And you can go through what's called the Krebs cycle, which is the energy production process, and find out what nutrients are really needed. Lisa's really good at doing a lot of that too. And so we invite you to give a call if you ever want to get a health assessment. Please feel free to call the office, 497-2553. And we have our upcoming workshop.
Yes, we're doing a cancer prevention and treatment seminar with Dr. Marcela Dominguez. She is trained in alternative cancer therapies, and she really helps patients to... integrative cancer therapies. But when I say that, I mean she helps patients to kind of combine conventional and alternative cancer therapies and find what's right for them and what they're comfortable with and what's going to be best for their treatment and their progress forward. So she has so much knowledge about this. So we invite you. We're still getting the date set, but it'll be the end of October, probably October 26th. And we're going to be doing a seminar on prevention and treatment. So wherever you lie, whether you just want to prevent, whether you're in treatment or you have family members
and
IVs.
IV nutrition. We do it. We have 4 chairs that look out over the beautiful Pacific Ocean, and Rochelle Rodriguez, our family nurse practitioner, and Dr. Dominguez administer IV nutrition to get right into the system without having to take supplements. So that makes an amazing difference.
Yep.
I started feeling like I was coming down sick. I went and got one of those, and boom, I was just like, I'm fine. So that's another way to get good nutrition into your system.
So we'll be talking about that at the seminar too, and how that can help with cancer prevention and treatment. So look out for the date on that. And thanks for joining us for another Lunch with the Doc.
There you go.
So fun.
Thank you.
You are amazing.